Welcome to the Whole Truth, Nothing But the Truth podcast, where we talk life, love, and everything in between.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
yes, absolutely. Now, I know today looks a little different, and that's because we have a guest. We're doing a virtual thing today. I want to introduce this is my cousin. This is not a play cousin. This is not somebody I
My
went to school with.
biological
This ain't
first
this is
cousin.
my biological cousin. We have the same grandmother. We have the same grandfather. Paw, shout out to Paw and Granny. I'm just saying. We have her mother is my first aunt. My
Yep.
mother is
Yeah.
her first aunt. We
Yes.
are first cousins. You and me will
Yes.
always be tied. Hey, everything. I messed up the words. I was about to go into family. I was about to go into proud family, but I was a little excited. I'm just saying. My cousin is here. I'm excited. Okay. So this is my cousin Christian, guys. Give her some love,
Yes.
y'all.
Yes.
Thank you for
This
coming.
is so exciting. This is so fun. I'm so happy to be a part
I
of this.
am so glad to have you here for the Whole Truth, Nothing But the Truth podcast, where we talking life, love, and everything in between.
And
Now,
there's a lot in
today's
between.
episode, it's so much in between. Like,
It's a lot.
I don't think people realize it's a lot in between, but we're going to get into all of it.
Yeah.
Now, today's episode is It's Okay to Be Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I know for me, sometimes my anxiety is through the roof. I have been told that I have the anxiety of a squirrel in traffic. And
That's pretty bad.
yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. And learning over time now that some of the things that I was everywhere about, I don't necessarily have to be everywhere about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like they don't matter.
Learning, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And like learning that space of like breathing now, like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like trying to really get into that mindset now that I don't have to be on like survival mode all the time, And like when things finally get quiet, you're realizing that like I'm okay. Like,
yeah,
things really aren't that bad, And so like, I don't know, like for you, have you had experiences where you've coming to that realization of like, maybe I can turn off the survival mode. Maybe I'm okay.
So, like you, I struggle with anxiety. I also have been diagnosed with clinical depression since I was a teenager. And so there's also a part of me that's true to like my core self is that I like certainty. I like things to be a specific way. On top of that, like I'm also a smart person, which sometimes being smart can be problematic. Because
She's very smart.
You can get in your own way sometimes. And sometimes life does life, and when it does, you get conditioned to responding to certain things in a certain way. And I will never forget. So when I was in seminary the first time around, which for a whole slew of reasons was very difficult, and maybe I'll talk more about that as we go along the podcast. But what I injured myself working, and I was freaking out because like I didn't have health insurance, and I knew that I could not pay an ER bill, but I also knew that I was going to miss work because of my injury. And then I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is just a compounding situation. What am I going to do?
Right.
And then when I moved to where I live now, which is Fayetteville, Arkansas, and was working at the church that I've been on staff with for almost 6 years, I had sprained my ankle, and a woman in my church was like, why don't you just go to the ER? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you have health insurance. And I was like, I have health insurance. And I remember having this moment of being like, oh, I can actually go to the doctor. And like, it's not it's not an anxiety. I mean, there's anxiousness there, but it's not like a financial anxiety. It doesn't derail my whole
Right.
life to be like it.
Right.
And so I remember having it was a core memory for me. Shout out to Martha
Mhm.
Schumann
Hey,
because I remember
Shara.
just standing there being like,
Oh.
yeah, why am I anxious about this? And it's just because sometimes life conditions us in a certain way. And if you already have
Yeah.
anxiety and a certain temperament, it's really hard to get out of that cycle. And sometimes you need other people to pull you out of it.
Yes, yes, you definitely do. Because I can relate to the same thing, especially even coming up. I deal with anxiety as well, and dealing with depression. And so, like, my default mode is one of survival and one of fight. You know,
I just gotta make it through the day. I
yes,
have to
yes,
make it through this day. And
that's
the
it.
world around me doesn't actually realize how hard it is for me to make it through this day.
Through this, yes, and it's such a thing where because I hear all the time like Jason, you're such a poker face, or things don't seem to really bother you, or you seem like such an even keel. And I'm like, really? Because I'm
Bruh.
sweating through my sweatshirt. Like, are
Yeah,
you
you don't
sure?
know what's
Uh,
happening up here in my head right now.
you have no idea what's going on with me, and like trying to like get into that space now of really realizing that
Hmm.
I can breathe. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm in the breathing. I'm a breather. Like my therapist and I, we do the breathing. And
Take a
so
good deep
I'm a
breath. Yeah.
yes, in, out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I do that, and I do the gratitude check, and I stop and realize, okay, I'm okay. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay. You know,
Yeah.
and it kind of brings me back down to earth, because there's so many
Mm-hmm.
times I'm walking around for something to do, something
Yeah.
to
Lots of time people I've noticed that people who struggle with anxiety like have a really hard time being still and not doing anything because then it's
Mhm.
like I can't be just alone with my
Yes.
thoughts. It's a
No. Are
recipe
you
for
do you know what
disaster.
goes on in there?
Like we have to occupy.
I have to do something. Do you think I
Yeah.
can sit here and just
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's a
No, that's
heavy
a learned
thing.
skill.
And
Yeah.
yes. Yes, and that's actually where I am now, like learning to really shift the mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've said before, like the mind is a muscle, and you know, you have to work it, and you because otherwise it'll work you, so to speak. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so you
And your brain gets into patterns. So
yes.
when I was in seminary, one of the things I took a class on, I can't remember what the name of the class was, but I took a class on
She
like
took the class
brain.
though.
I took the class. I took the class on like neuropsychology and stuff like that. And one of the things that has stuck with me is that in that class, I learned that it takes 7 years for your brain to rewire patterns and behaviors. Um,
Wow.
I know. And I remember sitting there being like, this makes so much sense. Because like you try to do something, you're like, why do I keep falling back into this thing? And it's the process of your brain trying to relearn something when it's
Yeah.
operated in a specific way for forever.
Yeah.
And it can literally take up to 7 years for your brain to rewire itself.
That's
Um,
amazing.
I know that's wild, right? And so I remember hearing that, and I was like, oh, it's okay. So like this pressure that I put on myself to do something or be something or think or live
Mhm.
something, is unnecessary pressure because my brain is trying, like my body is trying the best that it can on a
Yes.
timetable that it can actually do it. And so there are some days where I'm like, oh, it's okay that like it's my brain
It
is
is what
not
it
working the
is.
way that I want it. Like it's
Yeah.
okay because it's doing
Yeah.
the best that it can.
Right. Like that's that's very comforting to hear. I didn't know it takes 7 years, guys. Relax.
And
Give
I'm like,
yourself some
that's a
grace.
long time. Yeah.
That's a really long time, because you when I think about some of the habits that I've created in like depression modes or survival modes, and like trying to reprogram myself out of those default habits and default survival modes, it's very challenging.
It's
It's
hard.
you have your good days with it, and you're like, I'm on top
Hmm.
of this, and other days it's like, oh, not so much today. And you know,
Yeah.
so really unlearning that trying to like you said, trying to unlearn like the survival behaviors is something that is really fundamental, because as you mentioned, like you will go backwards if not, you know what I mean? So having to
Yeah.
continue to fight that is fundamental. Like
I
that's the
think
thing.
I think also too that we as humans are really prone to like really dramatic pendulum swings. And so
Yes.
like when you come off a season of like not it's not even okay, like everything is just garbage. Like everything is just, you're
Right.
just like this is a dumpster fire. This is hell on earth. When you come out of that, like your gut response is to be like, okay, I'm going to swing the opposite 100% direction. I'm going to go
Yes.
all in,
Cold
especially
turkey.
people cold turkey, New Year gym resolution, like you go all in, right? And
Yes.
then that doesn't it's not sustainable. It doesn't work. So
No.
then you find once you fail in a sense at that thing, then you
Mhm.
fall back into your old habits. And I think what I've learned over time is that in trying just to be okay, it's okay for it to be small and to have sustainable micro steps, because that's what's going to
Yes.
get you in the long term. That's what's actually going to
Yes.
help your brain heal itself. And
Hmm.
there's a scripture in Proverbs that says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And so sometimes you're like your brain is sick, your heart is sick or whatever, and you need
Right.
small steps. And we have to like resist the temptation of having that dramatic pendulum swing. So like if you've never gone to the
Yeah.
gym, don't tell yourself January 1st you're gonna go to the gym 5 times a week, because you're not going. You're gonna make
You're
it a
not.
couple weeks, and then after that it's gonna be over.
Drop.
If you
Yeah.
tell yourself I'm gonna go for a 30-minute walk once a week, that's sustainable
Yes.
to build
Yes.
a
It's the
habit.
small wins.
It's a small win, and I don't think we count the small wins enough when we're just trying to be okay. We want it to always
You're
be this
right.
big dramatic thing. But a
Yeah.
small win is a win.
Yeah, a win is a win.
A win
I'm
is
a
a
very
win.
firm believer in that. Like a win is a win. Like because I can relate to that all too well, of just the that mental high, and you're like your endorphins are going, and you're like, I'm going to change my whole life tonight, and you're just
Yeah.
and, and I'm going to do it tonight, and I'm going to get up in the morning, and I'm going to the gym, and it's all going to just change now. And it doesn't really happen that way,
It
because once
doesn't.
that high comes down, you're kind of like, oh, well, the thing
Yeah.
didn't really fall off like I thought it would. You know what I mean?
Which is which is why I'll say before I'll say I say this often in my work. So for people who don't know, I'm on staff at a
Yes.
church. I
Yes.
don't I'm not here to talk about anybody's religious affiliations, but I'm a Christian. I work at a church.
Yes.
That's what I do.
I too
I'm
am a
kind of
Christian.
a yeah, I'm kind of a pastor in that sense. And one of the things that I will say often in my work is because people will come in and they're like in the process of like changing and becoming more like Jesus and all that kind of stuff. And they
Mhm.
want it to be like these big dramatic, like I
Yeah.
stopped I stopped swearing this year. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, sometimes the swear word is the only word that actually articulates the
That's
situation.
all
So
we got.
sometimes you might
Yeah.
just need to use it. But we have these moments where we want these like really big chunks of things, and really it's to make us feel better about ourselves. And so I'll
Yes.
have to tell people like that self motivation is a lie. Self
Mhm.
motivation is a lie. It's not real because it doesn't last.
No.
It
No.
does not
It
last.
doesn't.
So no, so you just have to choose to do the hard thing. You just have to choose because you're not gonna want to always do it. You're not gonna always want to do
Yeah.
it. It's hard going to therapy some days. You don't want to
It's so
go,
hard.
but you need to go. And so
You have to go.
it's less about self motivation and more about saying, okay, I'm gonna choose to do something that I don't want to do. And actually, most of the time, half the stuff we don't want to do is actually stuff we probably need to be doing.
Yes, it's like it's the discipline, and like making that discipline for yourself to really push yourself to do those things that you don't necessarily want to do in the moment. And like even like
Yeah,
now, so like I go to the gym. I go to the gym 5 days a week, but I've been in somewhat of a gym rut, but I've still been showing up.
yeah,
I've been showing up, but mentally I've been kind of like,
mm, yeah.
"Ugh,
It's
I
early.
don't know
It's
what's
cold.
happening. It's so cold outside, and why are his
Yeah.
muscles so big? Like
Mm,
it's like
bruh.
all of the above. You know what I mean? And so, but at the end of those workouts though, I am feeling a lot better. You know what I mean? It's like I'm glad that I went. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
pushing yourself past it really is pushing yourself past how you feel.
Hmm.
And we don't do that enough. Or I
We
haven't
don't.
done that enough. You know what I mean? And
I don't, well, I don't think we live in a world, in a culture that values resilience. I think we live in a world that
Mhm.
teaches us you should pursue comfort. And if anything is uncomfortable, you
Yeah.
don't have to do it, which that's
Yeah.
not real life. That's
No.
not real
No, it's like
life.
it's failure. You're setting yourself up for failure.
You're setting yourself for failure. And so you have to build some sort of capacity for resilience because
Mhm.
that's just life. Like you
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to decide like what's gonna matter and what's not gonna matter. So like for instance, I also go to the gym
Mhm.
5 days
She's
a
a gym
week.
girly, guys.
Yeah, guys. And not a gym girly who like was small and stayed small. Like I was big and then I got small. Well, I was small and then I got big and now I got small. Don't get
She put
big.
in
You
that
get big,
work.
it's hard
She
to
put in
get
that
back
work.
small. But there are days when I go into the gym and I'll see like girls in my gym who are smaller than me, who have
Mhm.
more glute growth, who have more quad
Mhm.
definition,
Mhm.
who are stronger than me, who look really good in like shorts and a sports bra. And I'm not saying I don't think I look good as a sports bra, but I'm a germaphobe and I'm afraid of getting stabbed. But anyway, maybe one day, maybe one day. Um,
It's a
but on
thing.
those moments, yes, on those moments, I have these moments where my brain wants to go back to an old pattern or way of thinking about myself. Like I'm not pretty
Mhm.
enough. I'm not small enough. I'm too black for this space because Northwest Arkansas, where I live, is incredibly white. Um, and so my brain wants to go back to those places instead of, and it takes discipline for me to be like, bro, I paid to be here. I paid just like they paid. I live just like they live. I'm here 5 days a week, just like they're 5 days a week. And honestly, some of them doing all that hip thrust and they never gonna have no ass because they don't eat. So, like,
Come on.
you have to sometimes have talks with yourself and be like, what my body, what my brain, all of it's telling me is not real right now. It may have been
Yeah.
real in the past, and maybe that is formed and shaped my responses, but really it's not real. And like I don't
No.
have to live that way if I don't want to, and I can choose to just be okay. And sometimes you just have a mid, like sometimes at the gym. This is one thing about the gym that's taught me about life is that sometimes at the gym you just have a mid lift. Like it's not great,
Yeah.
you don't hit a PR, you're not feeling that pumped about the workout, but you did
Yeah.
it, and like
Yeah.
you're gonna see
Yeah.
fruit from that, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're like singing my song with that because I literally have to have those talks with myself in the gym. You know what I mean? And like there's some days I go in and I feel like I'm that guy, you know what I mean? And I put in my work and I'm you can't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the
Yep.
other days I'm like, gosh, I try to keep my eyes on my own paper. You know what I
Why
mean?
am
You
I
know,
doing all this?
but it's like, oh my God, well, how
Yeah.
long has he been here? Like, 'cause
Yes. And then the social anxiety kicks in, and then next thing you
yes,
know, you're in a thought spiral, and you're like, I am
yes,
not okay. How am I
I am
supposed to
not
finish this
okay. I
workout?
need to
I
go
am
and
not
reset,
okay.
you
There's been
know,
times where
and
I've left. I've left the
I have
gym in the middle of
to.
workout and just been like, I can't do this right now.
I
But that's
can't.
okay
I'm
because
sorry.
Lord willing, there's tomorrow.
That's exactly right. And I have to give myself that grace because I have 200% grabbed my bag and stormed out of the gym just because it's like, okay, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This
I've
is not the day
negotiated
for
with
this.
myself. I finished the lift, didn't do cardio. So like I've,
It's a win.
I've done it all.
It's a win. And so I think learning that, but like you said, learning that it is a space where like the world is like accustomed to being comfort, or we kind of encourage
Hmm.
comfort, more so than the stretching that actually stretches us and grows us and makes us stronger.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that is something that we should push a whole lot more because I know growing up, I wasn't coddled. I don't think I was coddled, but I was spoiled. I was a spoiled child, and I was raised in a space of if you don't want to, you don't have to. And it was
And
raised in love. It was all, you know, it was a love space, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I really ran with that, like
Yeah.
I don't
And
want to do it,
sometimes you
and I'm
have
not
to when you
gonna.
don't want to. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just life. Like I think um yeah, and I'm not saying that we should just everybody should just choose to struggle. That struggling is holy,
no,
and like sometimes people
no,
get in like the
no.
suffering Olympics of like who's suffering better. That's not what I'm saying. I want
Oh
everyone to have good,
God,
beautiful, fruitful
yes,
lives. I want that for
right,
everyone. But I think also part of life um is like life the world isn't the way that it should be. Like we all know
no,
this intuitively. The world is not the way it should
hmm,
be. So if the world isn't the way that it should be, why do you constantly expect your life to be 100% all the time?
all the
Like that's just not
time.
the way it is. And so when it
No,
doesn't get to 100%, have you built or have you committed to being
what have you
resilient
put
when
in?
what have you put in? Because I understand there is okay, shout out to my father, Sandy Williams.
Shout out to
So,
Sandy Williams.
that whole if you don't want to, you don't have to thing comes from my mom's side of the family.
On my side.
It's yeah. That's not how Sandy Williams raised us. That's not how he raised us. He did not care about if you don't want to. And on the and growing up, and it was hella annoying, like super annoying, because like I just want to,
Right.
But as an adult, it's like, yeah, there are some days when I don't want to go to work. I don't feel like going, and I
Hmm.
could really take a mental health day or a sick day, but really, I'm not sick. I just don't want to go.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
like
that's
I
not
have to
sometimes
go.
enough. Yeah, like well,
Yeah.
you have to go.
You have to go.
That's not enough.
And you have to learn that like the world doesn't owe you anything, and
Yeah,
people aren't obligated to see to your comforts.
yeah,
Um and so because that's like the way life really is, you really have to like actually sit with yourself and say like what am I going to accept? What am I going to prioritize? How am I going to achieve
hmm,
that? And what am I going to do when like I don't feel like it? And
yeah.
that's not to say that there aren't times where like you need help or you need
You
a
have to.
break because
Yes, of
that is
course.
true.
That's a
But
thing.
when we're
Yeah.
talking about it's okay to be okay, I think it's also important to say it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I'm gonna do this even though I don't want
Hmm.
to, and it's also okay to hold other people accountable in your close relationships who feel like they don't have to. And we all know those people who feel like they
Yes.
don't have to. And maybe
Yes.
God has placed you in their life so you can be the person to say, no, you kind of have to.
No. Right. You have to because, like, to your point, because you have to you have to be able to hold people accountable, and you want people in your life that will hold you just as accountable. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to just watch me lay down and give up on life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And accept that for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be around people who hold me accountable, and I hold them accountable because, like you said, that's not life. Life is not given to us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And as much as I wish I could just sit here in this house and just just sit here in this house, I
No,
can't do
literally.
that. Like
I
literally,
can't I
like
can I can't do that. So
no.
I don't know what happened with y'all's weather this week, but we had, this
It was
apocalypse,
crazy.
and so I was in my house, in my apartment for a whole week, and people were texting in like, "How are you doing?" And everyone knew that it was like an introvert's dream. I was like, "Oh, I'm fine."
Hmm.
Like
I get
I
everything I need.
I got everything I need. I'm okay. And then yesterday I was like, okay, I actually probably need to like see another human to let me like leave my house or whatever. But
Yeah,
I think that but in that way, people checking in, what they were really saying was like, hey, like I know that you're okay, but also you just
but
can't hide away in your house for forever. Like that's
yeah,
not a good practice. And so
no,
when we're
no,
talking about just being okay, I think accountability is a part of it and having grace for yourself so you don't think being okay is really like being this huge, grand, majestic thing.
right,
Some
right.
it doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be suffering. And it's not to say that it's the middle between those things. It's something completely opposite. Something
Hmm.
completely different in that you're looking at life and you're looking at life and saying, well, this is what life is giving me, or this is what I want my life to look like. Some days are going to be up, some days are going to be down, but I'm
Hmm.
committed to like taking up space in the places where I am.
Yes, yes, and that's like you said, taking up space is very important because I
Hmm.
know even for me dealing with like different survival modes where I've basically hid myself, like you kind of was saying, like I'm an introvert. I can hide in my house and not be seen forever.
And be
And I will be
fine.
just fine. I will be just fine with that. Like, it's perfectly fine. But over the years, I've realized that some of that was like trauma responses, some of that was survival
Yeah.
mode, and you just go and recluse and hide, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's been the people, it's been the family and close relationships in my life that have held me accountable to kind of shake that off, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and get up and get out and live. And like you said, it's not even a space of just this majestic ooh boom pow type thing. It's just living life, breathing, being present, and taking up space, like
Yeah.
taking up the space that's yours, you know. Even kind of going back into the gym situation, like I've like you mentioned something with that, like taking up space in the gym. I paid my for my
I
membership here.
I paid my monthly membership.
I
I
pay to
deserve
be
to be
here
here just like everybody else do.
just like everybody else. Like, why am I feeling as though I have to shrink to be in this space and I
Yeah.
can't try all the machines or this or that or I can't look what's the word I'm looking for? I can't be in practice mode, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which
Like
the
you're
gym is
learning.
everybody's in practice mode.
Yes, and I
Everybody.
think sometimes we forget that, you know, and you're
Yeah.
just assuming that everyone knows what they're doing there, but
No.
everyone walked up to a machine and had to learn it, you
At
know,
one
and
point. Yeah,
so
they
at
had to
one
ask
point,
somebody because
yes.
so funny tangent. I have a new gym that I've been going to for
Mhm.
like 2 or 3 months or whatever. And like they had a machine that I've never seen this before. I was like, I don't even
Mhm.
know what to do. So I just went up, I just went up to Travis in the gym and was like, hey, um, I need help. But I when I
Right.
tell you I stood there for like 2 minutes trying to figure out what I was gonna do and warred with
Yes.
myself because I was like, I don't
Yes.
want to look like I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm
Right.
doing. And if I ask for help, everyone's gonna know that I don't know what I'm
But I
doing.
don't know what I'm
And,
doing.
and it's not that serious.
No. No, it's a machine. Like it's literally a gym machine, like a workout
It's not
machine.
that serious.
Like
And it's like you just have to sometimes be
but
okay with not knowing what you're doing and having people know that you don't know what you're doing. Because
yeah.
at one point they didn't know what they were
Yeah.
doing.
Yes, yes, and that's a fact. And keeping that in mind, it goes a long way. Like it gives you, and it helps you to give yourself grace while learning. You know, learning in real
Yeah.
time. There's a lot of things, even for me now. Like I feel like I'm learning so much in real time, and more often than not, I think we like to learn in private, and
Yes.
then kind of step out, like, look what I've learned.
Look what
You
I
know,
learned.
and it's yeah. And it's like it's not that way. You have to learn in real time. And so you're gonna hiccup, you're gonna maybe miss a hurdle or two or whatever, but it's all part of the process. And learning that now, like even for me, I think now that I feel like I've kind of morphed out of a survival mode space. And I
Hmm.
think I've been out of it longer than I realized I was out of it. And now that I've come to my therapist is kind of reminding me gentle reminders like, well, you're
Yeah.
not in that space anymore, right? You know that
Yeah.
this isn't your present anymore. And it's kind of like, oh, so I don't have to hide in my house. So I don't have
Mm-mm.
to, ignore my phone calls now, or I don't have to, this or that. Like I can breathe, and so I think
Yes.
now that I'm on the other side of surviving, those things I've kind of left in the past. The recluse energy, the trying to ignore people or just play so small that I'm not seen. I feel like those things are really done with now.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
And
what do you think? Like, how about you?
yeah, I mean, you and I have that in common. That's kind of like our go-to default when we feel
Hmm.
like a fight or flight is to
Hmm.
flee. Um,
Yes.
Now I will fight if the circumstances.
Oh yeah, you ain't
If
got.
I feel like I will fight.
You ain't gonna listen. Don't push me too hard.
My first thing is to flee. But if you come after me, we're gonna fight.
I'm gonna turn around.
No, I'm not turning around. I'm gonna say what I want. But so I can resonate with you in that way.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that's helped me is to learn to have so much grace for myself. So my pastor, um, said, my lead pastor, our church structure is, we don't have to get into all that. But anyway, so my
Yeah.
lead pastor had said, said once, um, that when you have a kid, like a small child who is drawing a picture, because little kids they love to do stuff like that, right? And if you've ever seen a small child's art, it's typically not great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they can't draw, but whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But they take it to their parent, and their parent is like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." They put it on the wall, they put it on the fridge, they show their friends, "Look at it, it's so cute," right? And to the parent, it's like the parent knows like this is
What it
not
is.
Picasso, but it's my
Right.
child, and this was their best effort, and I'm going to
Mhm.
hype the mess up out of this. And my pastor said
Mhm.
that's how God sees your best efforts.
Oh, I
And
love that.
it really freed me up in the sense of like um the expectations that I have for myself, sometimes God doesn't even have those expectations of me. And so
Yes.
why am I trying this hard? Like,
Yes.
and so to
Yes.
free up and have grace for myself has really helped me with that kind of like runaway or hide energy
Yeah.
that I had
Yeah.
for most of my life. Um like learning that grace that I have for myself, learning how God sees me in the sense that I'm made in his
Yes.
image and I have value and worth, and none of those things can actually be measured because they're immeasurable. And so like
Mhm.
that has freed me up to be like, I'm going outside.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what you gonna say to me? What you gonna say to
Right.
me?
What
I'm
could
going
go wrong?
outside.
Like, I'm going. I belong
I'm
here.
going outside. I'm gonna wear what I want. I'm gonna do
Yes.
my makeup the way that I want. I'm gonna look the way that I
Yes.
want. I'm gonna talk the way
Yes.
that I want. Like I'm going outside,
I'm going. I'm going. Be
and
mad.
I don't
I don't
care.
care. I'm going. And like I love that I love that. He looks at our it's like we're showing him our paintings and he's, "Oh, I love this so much." He's putting it on his refrigerator
He's putting
and
me on his fridge.
everything.
No, literally, like when I go outside, it's God putting me on his fridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I'm going outside. I love that.
That's literally
I love
I have to
that.
hype myself up sometimes.
Yes,
It's like
like no, that
yeah,
just that really does a lot for me because I mean like you even to your point of saying sometimes we have such high expectations for ourselves and those expectations could be way beyond what God is even thinking. You know what I mean? And of course his thoughts are not ours and on all of that. So
yeah.
it's so but that does kind of that allows you to give yourself some grace, that allows you to really kind of relax a bit and go outside, you know what I'm saying,
No,
and live your
literally.
life, like seriously, because there's been a lot of downtime, for me, especially under a rock. I feel like I've been living under a rock for a long time, and I'm okay under my rock. I got everything I need under here, you know what I
I
mean.
got yeah.
I'm good, but
Mm-hmm.
there is a space where you need to get out and live and take up space, and the life that you've been afforded to live, you should live it,
Yeah. And
and
everybody has different like everybody's life looks different. And I think one of the probably
mhm.
the biggest factors that contributes to us not being okay is that we be wanting other people's lives. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not yours. So
it's
for
not yours.
instance, I have a lot of friends who travel internet. Now I've traveled internationally. Okay, I have.
Hmm.
So let's not. I'm not going to pretend that I haven't. I have.
Yeah,
But
no,
do
my
I
girl
have
is a
friends?
traveler.
Do I have friends who travel way more than I do in better and not in economy?
Hmm.
Yes, a thousand
Yeah,
percent.
yeah.
And once you don't fly in economy, I've only never flown in economy one time, and I wish I hadn't because now I know and I compare and I get in the habit of like
It'll
wanting to
never be
compare
the
that
same.
experience. I'm like, oh my god. Did you know they know your name? Did you know that the flight attendants know your name in first economy? They call you by
No,
your
I
name.
didn't.
They'll be like, Miss
Oh
Williams,
my
would you like another
god,
drink? No, seriously.
I
And I
would.
was like, I
Like,
didn't need to know this. I did not need to know this because now that I know
yeah,
this,
don't
I'm
tell me
comparing this.
this.
And then I have moments where I'll be like, oh, I wish I could fly first class to such and such and such and such.
Yeah,
But I can't.
yeah, yeah,
But I can't.
and that's
And
okay.
so, and that's okay. And so the next response was like, well, at least I can go. Well, if there was somebody who couldn't go internationally, then the next step is like, well, at least I can drive 3 hours to go see this. Like, at least
Right,
and it's like, and that's okay.
right. Right.
And
That's
so
okay.
it's okay. And so sometimes we get into this huge comparison thing, and that
Yeah.
is sometimes it's like the chief contributor to why we are not okay.
No, it is. It is because we will like even I have to go back to the gym because even like with the gym thing, like not keeping my eyes on my own paper is very dangerous at the gym because I know that I have made progress. I know that my pounds are dropping the way I'm doing them, and I know that my gains are coming the way they supposed. I
Yeah.
know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But at the same time, you see a couple people walk through, and you're like, well,
Sometimes
how
you're
did
like,
these
do I
arms
need
get the
steroids?
definition?
Do I
What?
need steroids?
I was doing the same machine as him. Now wait a minute, like, did
Do
how
I
many
need to
cents
skip
did
a
he
meal?
do?
Like,
Like, so it will. It is a thief of joy, and you're so proud of yourself. There have been times I've really been so proud of my workouts and just whatever, and then I'll allow a moment to creep in or someone else's physique to creep in, and I'm like, oh God, I have so
yeah.
long to
And
go.
I mean, carrying that thought, like, and thinking about like this conversation is that like also it's okay to be mid. It's okay to be average.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have a plain and
Mm-hmm.
ordinary life. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's normal. Like
Yes.
that is
Yes.
most people's existence. Most people's
Yes.
existence are mid bodies,
Mm-hmm.
mid because super
Normal
attractive.
life.
Yes, super attractive people are on. They're not real either. They're photo brushed and
Yeah.
airbrushed on the internet. So like, it's okay to be basic sometimes. It's
Yes.
okay to be
Yes.
average. If if you are average in most areas of life, you're doing way better than the person who's only good at one thing.
Then
Like
that's it.
it's
That's it.
okay to be mid.
Be okay and be mid. It is because because you do it's continuing to kind of cut yourself off at the foot. Every time you continue to like, well, what this and what that, but like to your point, like it's okay to be normal and like and we're
It's okay.
comparing ourselves to people. I was comparing myself to someone on the Instagram. Oh my God, on
On the
Instagram.
Instagram.
I was comparing myself to this guy on Instagram who later confessed that he had gotten on the table and had gotten lipo. And I was so Christian.
First of all, I'm not anti-plastic surgery.
No, no.
But why you gotta lie about it?
Why would you lie? Why would you
Because
be doing all this fitness?
everybody's insecure. And so no, I think about this all the time, especially as a woman, especially as a woman in her mid-30s who is not married and doesn't have kids. Sometimes I will let the world, I will let Satan, I will let my own thought patterns say, like, if I looked like this, then I could be able to attract what I want.
This,
When the
yes.
reality is that person that I'm comparing to myself on the internet has way more time, way more money, way more resources, way more access to things that I have. That person doesn't have a 9 to 5. Their job
Right.
is to go to the gym. They're making enough
Yes.
money where they can afford lipo or get a breast
Yes.
augmentation or whatever. They
Yes.
can afford to go get their nails done every week because nails are high as hell. Like
I've
they
heard.
can afford that stuff. And so that picture that I'm seeing perpetuate, I'm like, that's not actually real life.
No.
But I'm
No.
comparing myself to that, knowing that it's real life for them because
Yes.
their life is different
That's
from mine.
their life.
And that's their life. It's not mine. And
No.
so much of my life, because here I go talking about Jesus again, but so much of my life is stewarding what God has given me and where I
Mm-hmm.
am and the
Mm-hmm.
things that I have. And I
Yeah.
think that's incredibly important. So like when I got Botox and I got lip filler, I told everybody.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
told everybody. I wasn't embarrassed. I wasn't like I gotta
No.
hide it. But I don't want people to be like, "What are you doing with your skin lately?"
Right.
Hydrofacials and Botox. That's what I'm doing.
Yes. I'm not
So
gatekeeping.
I'm not gatekeeping because like I'm okay with people knowing that this is what I choose to do to feel better about myself. And I'm like, I don't
Not
feel like
me.
I don't have to explain it. Like I tell people all the
No.
time, I am my favorite hobby. Some of y'all don't have a hobby,
Yes.
you need to get one. My hobby
I
is
love
myself.
that. I'm sorry, pause. My hobby, I am my favorite hobby. My hobby is
Yes.
my hobby is myself. I am my favorite hobby. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
okay with spending time by myself. I'm okay with doing things by myself. I'm okay with spending money on myself. Like, I'm okay with all that.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I think people would just admit that.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Right.
admit whatever it
Right.
is. Just like, because like you're saying, you saw his picture and you're like, what do I need to do? I need to follow his fitness routine. I need to follow his
Mm-hmm.
meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
What's his
Mm-hmm.
macros?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
surgery.
Surgery, love.
And that's
And
okay.
you're like, well, what? You were my hero. I put you on my vision board. What do you mean? like it's a whole thing, but but to your point, understanding that and like giving yourself that grace to just be okay with where you are and like keeping your eyes on your own paper and doing what is best for you. You know what I mean? Doing the
Mm-hmm.
things that make you feel good for you and make you happy for you. That's my words aren't coming out. That's being okay. I was trying to
That's being
make something
okay.
cute there, but it didn't come
This,
out the right way. But that's
this,
being
this
okay.
being okay.
Yeah, that's really being okay. And I think like the older we get, that goes a long way. You know what I mean? And it brings about a peace that really maybe wasn't there prior in those areas of life because you're like to your point, you're able to kind of speak to that thought, like, okay, no, we're not doing that. I'm good. And you kind of keep it going. So
Yeah.
it's
No, because
definitely
sometimes
a place for that.
I have to talk myself, like, sometimes I have to remind myself that my life is my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll go ahead and confess, people know this. My life right now is not great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flourishing. I have a lot of stuff going on, but it's my life
My
and it's my
life.
story.
Yeah.
And like, as a person, as a human being, like all other humans who are made in God's image, and
Mm-hmm.
therefore I have value and worth and dignity that is so high it cannot be measured. Why would
Mm.
I deprive the world of seeing God's image? Because it
Me.
doesn't look like somebody else's.
Right. But this is God's image.
Yes.
It doesn't get no
And
better
so
than that.
it can't get no better than that. And every one of us is showing the different. The way I like to explain it is that, like, God is every shade of every color in the whole world, or even
Mm-hmm.
more so than the world. Which means that
Yes.
every person who is in the world, is reflecting a specific piece of that.
Yes.
And so if you are trying to be a different shade of a different color, you're not gonna ever be okay.
No.
Because you
No.
supposed to be teal. Why are you
That's
trying to be red?
I assigned you teal. You were assigned teal, okay? Like seriously, that's a thing because you will forever be chasing whatever you think you're chasing. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
to achieve this thing, but it's unattainable. Like you'll never get it because you're really missing the greatest. Oh, this sounds cheesy.
Yeah.
You're missing the greatest gift, which is yourself.
But no, I mean, like, and you're driving yourself crazy. You got social anxiety. And your therapist low key trying to tell you this by going through your
Yes,
EDMR and your
your
trauma and your
gentle
family
nudges.
attachment and all that kind of stuff. She's trying to
Yes,
tell you this is the person that you are.
yes,
This is the cards that
yes,
you have been dealt. Let me help you
yes,
cope and live
and
into
deal with these
fully.
cards. Yeah,
Because
that's
you're not
it.
gonna get a different. You're not gonna get a different set of cards.
You can't change it because I know me and
You
my
can't change
therapist. We
it.
have we have gone down the history book several times, and the
Mm-hmm.
story don't change. The
It
players
don't
are still the
change.
same.
They still
Um,
the same.
they're still the same. So what are we gonna do with this? And that's good. That's good. So it's like we have to be okay with
You have to
being
be okay.
okay.
Part of protecting your peace is just accepting things for what they are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact.
Part of protecting my peace is being like, I have clinical depression. That's just it's
It's
not
part
gonna
of it.
never go away. There'll be
Yeah.
seasons where it's high, there'll be seasons when it's low, there'll be seasons where I don't feel it, there'll be seasons when I feel it ton. But like, that's just the reality. Which
That's
means that my
reality.
life is set up in a certain way to deal with it.
Yeah. And that's and like you said, and that's the way it goes. And the thing about that again is keep saying it, but it's okay. And
It's
that's
okay.
that's the reality of it. It's okay to be okay. And learning that about yourself and like these are my cards, these are the cards that I'm dealt. This is what I deal with, and this is how I deal with it, and I'm okay with that. And this doesn't make me less than, this doesn't make me anything but who I am. Just like the
Mm-hmm.
things that you have make you who you are, you know. And so it just all works that way together. It's okay to be okay, damn it.
It's okay.
But it
It is.
is. It
It is
really is.
so okay. And I
And
think like as I've gotten older, maturity has helped with that.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think walking with Jesus has helped with that. I'm gonna tell a funny story. There was one time I was doing church announcements, which I don't do church announcements often, and this is why. I was
Yes.
doing church announcements, and the announcements that I was told we were going to announce were not the announcements.
Oh
And
God.
the order of the slides that the announcements were supposed to be in were not in the correct order.
Oh
And
God.
so from the jump,
This
we
was
had some
wrong.
teenagers in the AV booth, but from the jump, it was not going great. And I said out loud in the mic, "This is going to hell."
Hey, but hey,
I said it
hey,
out loud in the mic. And afterwards, I was like, part of me was like, I should have been embarrassed. It just slipped out. It was because I was just like, this is not working. Why is
this
this
is
not
not
working?
working.
And so it just slipped out. And maturity taught me that sometimes these things happen and that's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, but also the way the people, my community, and I think this is also important when you're thinking about being okay, is the people you surround yourself with,
Yes.
because my community were were like that that was funny, or are you okay? Because
Right.
I could
Right.
like, are you okay? Because I
One
could
other
see how this
way. It
could
can
be
go either or.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't a condemning moment. It wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that this happened,
Yes.
which
Yes.
would have made me not okay.
Right.
Um, but I think like that's a moment for me where it was like I experienced grace from people who
Mm-hmm.
practice it, and so then I was able
Mm-hmm.
to like have grace for myself, and
Yeah.
I felt like my most self, and that
Yes.
self wasn't rejected. And so I
Yeah.
think that who you surround yourself with, because and this I'm gonna say this, and this might be a tangent or another episode, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Who you surround yourself with contributes to whether or not you have peace. And I'm not saying that every relationship you have is perfect and there will not be conflict. As long as you are a human who sees other humans, there will be conflict. And
Mm-hmm.
so
There'll
some
be conflict.
relationships, every conflict is not bad conflict that you need to
Yeah.
escape from. But who you surround yourself with contributes to your peace, whether you have it or not.
Yes.
And that means that sometimes relationships need to be severed or boundaries need to be set, even if it's with family.
Yes. Now that's
And
a
some, because
fact.
sometimes family be the main ones
The main ones
contributing to your
contributing to
lack of
the
peace.
yes. Yes. And you have to find a way to make those boundaries for yourself without apology. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I've had to learn that over the years, the older I've gotten, your own personal walk with yourself, where it gets to a space where it's going to be me or you. You know what I mean? And it's either, even with family, it's going to be me or you. And I'm going to choose me because I have to have peace in my life. And if you're not contributing to the overall of that, we got to do something different,
Yeah, we have to
you
do
know?
something because, and like I said, not all conflict is bad or all conflict needs to be
No,
fled from. That's not what I'm saying. Because
no,
sometimes people say that you're disturbing my peace, so I'm cutting off this relationship, and it's like, no, no, no. We
no,
talked about this.
no, no,
We're
no, no,
building this
no.
capacity. You have to have
Yes,
some, but
yes.
there's sometimes there is unholy expectations of loyalty
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
family sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
like they the reason that you not okay, and you
Right.
not having boundaries is multiplying the fact
Yeah.
that you are not okay. And so
Exactly.
sometimes if you want to be okay, you just have to be like, this is what I tell people sometimes. Jesus said in Matthew, don't worry about sifting the wheat or separating the sheep from the goats. I'll handle all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you just have to be like, you know what? I think I think that I'm putting too much effort in trying to separate the sheep from the goat, and that's Jesus' business. So I'm just gonna go over here
I'm
and
gonna let you
I'm
take
gonna
care
let
of that.
God be God because I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
I can't. I can't do
I
it.
can't.
I have exhausted
I tell
everything I
people
have.
I tell people all the time. I'm like, Jesus said he will leave the 99 and go find the one. I gotta take care of this 99.
Yeah.
I can't,
I
like, I just can't do it.
I can't.
I don't have
I
the
can't do it.
capacity, and it's not my place. And so sometimes you have to, even the people that you love and who are your closest neighbor, you have to just be like, for everyone to be okay, let's
Yeah.
set some boundaries and we'll
Yeah.
let it sort itself out, either in this life or the next, because we can't do it.
Right. This isn't working. This isn't working. And I feel like really overall that's a thing that it's a win for everyone involved. And even though there may be parties who wouldn't understand it in the moment, or who would feel a way about it, or feel rejected from it or whatever, in the grand scheme of it, that's a win for everyone, because I have my peace now, and now you need to learn how to function differently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Without me here. So
Yeah.
it's a that's a definite win for everyone, because your boundaries are important. And like I said, if I have to choose between me and you, I'm going to choose me. And I have to choose me. I'd be a fool to go to bed at
Yeah.
night,
Be-
stressed and this and that, and you're sleeping just fine. That's not.
yeah.
No.
Why am I awake? And so
What? Yeah.
I think if you're going to be okay, part of it is teaching people how to treat you, and then
Mm-hmm.
also, like, enforcing the consequence. It's kind of like with a
Yes.
kid. If you keep telling a kid
Yes.
not to do something and they keep doing it and you don't do nothing, they're not gonna stop because
They're
they
not
know
going to
you're not
stop.
gonna do nothing.
You're not going to do anything. I'm going to get that belt. Well, you never got it. So, like,
So this is an empty threat. This
this
is
is
an
an empty
empty
threat.
threat.
I'm going
And
to
so
keep doing what I'm doing.
sometimes you just have to be like, hey, this relationship is not serving either one of us.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? What does that look like? Do we want to change that? Do we want to work that out? If we don't want to change and we don't want to work that out, then peace. And I,
Peace.
like, I'm out. And
Yeah.
I know, as a Christian, as a person who works in church ministry, I sometimes people, like, expect me to take more than I think I should have to take. But
Mm-hmm.
the reality is, you would rather me tell
Hmm.
you it's better for us to go our separate ways than for God to get in this. Because
Yes.
sometimes I'll be like, y'all didn't read your Bible. Because you remember at one time, I'm going on a Bible story, but just roll with me.
I'm rolling.
When Moses' family was talking mess about his wife,
Mm-hmm.
they was talking up a storm about how dare he marry her, all that kind of stuff. God came and gave Miriam, his sister, leprosy.
Hmm. So
Okay?
do not touch my anointed. Hmm.
When his cousins were talking about, we could be in charge, we could lead, we could do all that kind of stuff, God sent an earthquake and swallowed them up.
Mm-hmm. So be careful. I'm just
Like,
saying. I'm
sometimes
just
even with your family, you
saying.
gotta be careful, because, like I said, I'm outside bearing God's image.
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
if I'm gonna be okay, part of that is me being like, you know what, this relationship is not serving either one of us. And
Mm-hmm.
if you keep going the way you keep going, I know you're not gonna be okay.
Right. I'm trying to save you a lot of grief. I'm trying to help you, because you're not going to
Because
be okay when it's said
you're
and
not gonna
done.
you're not gonna be okay. Because I am not a, you know, I'm gonna turn the other cheek and let God handle it. And I be praying some, Lord, swallow them up, send them
Yeah.
leprosy,
Yeah.
stop, blind them on the Damascus
Yeah.
road, whatever
I'm
you
I'm
need
real
to
aggressive
do.
with the prayer life.
I am Old Testament. You do, honestly, you do not want
Wait,
me
did
praying
you say
for
you were
God
Old
to
Testament?
vindicate me, because I do. And that don't mean he gonna do it, but it makes me feel
Yeah,
better, because I'm like,
it makes you feel better.
I'm gonna tell the God of the universe, this is bothering me.
Yes, yes.
And
No,
whatever needs to be
seriously,
done to get this person out my face,
do it. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay
I'm
with
okay
it. Cause
with
I'm
it.
trying to be like, I'm trying to retain myself over here. And I would rather, like, I just, whatever needs to be done. And I do. And
Yes,
people like, I pray for my enemies. I pray for them to know the Lord's kindness, but I also pray for justice.
that's it. And get on up out my face. That's
Get
it.
on my face. I can't do it.
Listen, man, listen, you know what? We can talk all day, but I'm gonna pull us back, because me and you will go. Me and my cousin like to talk. Fun fact, you all have
I
been
don't even know
sitting
how
here with
long
us,
we've
and
been
I almost
talking.
forgot y'all were here. I almost forgot y'all was here talking with us. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do. You know what I mean? But with that being said, I guess we should wrap things up. You know, we can
Yeah, we
finish this
should.
later. We're gonna finish all this after y'all going on somewhere. So wrapping this up, I just want to reinforce that it's okay to be okay.
It's
And
okay.
your okay may not look like everybody else's okay. And that's okay too. You might be
Mm-hmm.
mid, you might not be mid. You might be on some this, you might be on some that. But it's okay to be okay wherever
It's
you
okay.
are. Next week's episode, next week, I keep telling y'all this, and I'm gonna get it together here real soon because it's not next week. It's bi-weekly, cuz I've been telling these folks it's next week. Every
People
time I'm like,
looking for
next
the
week,
drop.
y'all,
It's
next
not
week.
dropping.
And then like, where's the show? I'm a one-man show, guys. I'm doing this all myself. So
I do
I get a little
everything.
brain fog. I do
Yeah.
everything, guys. So I get a little brain fog. But the next episode, we're gonna do it like that. The next episode, I said what I said. Now, this is gonna be talking about boundaries like you have never heard before. So make sure that you guys tune in for episode 4. I said what I said. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this is episode 3. It's okay to be okay with Christian. You and me will always be tight. Family every single
Every
day and
day and
night. Even
night.
when you start to acting like a
Like
fool. You know I'm loving every single thing you
anything you
do.
do.
Oh,
Emily.
but this is okay to be okay. Christian, thank you so much. I'm gonna text you as soon as this is over, but I'm
I know
still
you
saying
are.
thank you.
Thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I have enjoyed this conversation so much. You definitely have to come back to this show. We can have some more conversation because I love our talks. You know, we can talk all day.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
thank you for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Whole Truth, Nothing But the Truth podcast. So we talk life, love, and everything in between. I'm your host, Jason Gerard. And until next time, bye.